What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Stop the Accrual of Idle Interest and Defer Those Loans at least one more year. Ladies and gentlemen, huge video on this Tuesday, October the 18th, 2022, as the sun goes down here in Atlanta. Very cold tonight, 30 degrees. Please do me a huge favor, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and go find us over at trysmallbiz.com, where you can advertise your company today. That's trysmallbiz.com. And by the way, for all you stockaholics out there, we have 95 premium memberships left. For every 10 that come in, 10 are going out. So I'm asking you, if you got a small business and you're willing to give me 3 years, you're going to invest about $1,000. I can promise you it'll be one of the best investments you'll ever make, in addition to following me on Twitter. OMG, I've got at least 3, maybe 4 stock picks to give you before the end of today. So go ahead and pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, ice cold beer, glass of wine, whiskey on a big rock. Here we go. I mean, holy shit, the action. Ladies and gentlemen, before I talk about idle, getting the interest accrual to stop, and Miss Guzman, you're traveling the country. We need you to forgive, please and thank you, or at least defer, excuse me. Yeah, forgive, that comes next. The idle loan for another year, because small businesses are suffering in this economy / stock market crash. We need at least one more year before we have to make the payments. But ladies and gentlemen, are you paying attention at Try Small Biz? I just gave you 3 new picks. I'll go over them all. I might even give you 1 or 2 more. The bottom line is this. Almost every stock has been in a straight downward channel for the last 6 to 9 months. Some of these names are down 97 or 8% from where they were in January. But then we just had after hours Netflix crush their number. It's up $30. I'm telling you right effing now. We just entered the strongest time of the year. October the 15th through the end of this year is the seasonally most strongest time of the year. And the 4th quarter of a midterm cycle where it looks like the GOP is going to take the House and possibly the Senate is the strongest of any 4-year cycle. And if that's not enough, we have never, since World War II, not one time had the subsequent year, which is 2023, of a midterm cycle go down. So I'm telling you, please, for the love of God Almighty, stop listening to these clowns on YouTube and all over social media for that matter. We got one guy, he gets about 200,000 views a video. He put out a video the other day telling people to take their money out of JP Morgan and Bank of America because the banks were going to go under. To that I say, bullshit. They've got record amounts of capital on hand. The bank stocks are on fire the last 3 or 4 days. Credit Suisse, which was supposed to be going out of business, is up 30% from the lows in the last 10 days because there is no banking problem. So you have to please listen to me. I'm the one that's got you up 14 or even 15x since March the 1st on over 60 winners. I think it's 61 and 6, something along those lines. 1,000 invested is worth about 15 G's. I spent half my life on Wall Street. I know what I'm talking about. We are about to have the mother of all short squeezes with $10 trillion of cash on the sidelines. And by the way, if that's not enough, for the first time ever last week, we had 3 times as many puts. Those are options from people that think the market's going down bought than calls going up. That has never happened before. So as I said on Twitter at Try Small Biz, we got way too many snowflakes on the wrong side of the boat. And we're about to have a reversion to the mean in the strongest quarter of any 4-year cycle. And we've never had, in case you didn't hear me, a down year that follows, which would be 2023. So whether this is another 25 or 30% bear market rally or the beginning of a brand new bull, who the hell knows? Follow me on Twitter and watch this video to the end because I'm going to give you a few picks. All right, Miss Guzman, I hope you're following me, by the way. I know there's got to be a lot of people over at the SBA, the Small Business Administration, who'd like to make some money because giving out money, or at least in the last 2 weeks or 2 months, practically 2 years, has been a bit of a problem. We are grateful. I was one of 4 million people that got close to $400 billion of idle grant, loan, and increased money. However, in the last 2 months, you have defied Congress 120 members, 70 in the House, 50 in the Senate, that told you to use the $800 million in EIDL subsidies to finish funding the EIDL loan increase. You have refused. And while we appreciate that you're gallivanting all over this country, we still have several thousand small business owners that need their EIDL loan increase. So I'm asking you again, please figure out a way. Come up with a two-tier system. You got to have this for a credit score. You got to have your taxes done, even if they're amended, with a 4506T and maybe one or two other things. If you meet these qualifications, we'll give you to a loan officer. And yeah, it may take a month or two, but at least give these people a chance. For the rest of us, I don't need to go on and on, although I could, about how we are in a bit of a pickle in this country we call the US of A. Supply chain is all screwed up. The southern border is a disaster. We have more drug overdose than at any time in my life with that F word that comes in the form. And by the way, if you got kids, Halloween's around the corner. Please double and triple check the bags. In fact, if there's anything colored like Smarties, don't let them have it, because you never know what's in these pills. Foreign affairs, Afghanistan, what's going on in Ukraine. We're laundering tens of billions of dollars that's going into the pockets of the hidden hand and the minions that run the show. I believe it was Julian A. last name that pointed that out in a video that's going viral, but I digress. Miss Guzman, thank you for following along. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comments, do you have a loan that you would like the interest forgiven on so that you don't have to pay any of that godforsaken interest? Do you need another 12 months at least of deferral on your EIDL loan so you can recover? Miss Guzman, we have 40-year highs in inflation. The stock market has lost close to $12 trillion of wealth as of last Thursday, when moi called a bottom, but most people are hanging on by a thread. CNBC did a story yesterday, 62% of all Americans, regardless of wealth, even the top 1%, are living paycheck to paycheck. We are going to have millions of bankruptcies in the next year or two from small business owners that will not be able to afford to make these payments. So I'm asking you, in an election year, get rid of the accrual of the EIDL interest, defer the payments at least another 12 and preferably 24 months. Give small business owners, which I know you care for, you're the hardest working SBA administrator I've ever seen. Every day or twice a day now, we're getting information, and we appreciate that. The prior administration was god-awful in that respect, but I'm asking you to use your power, as Congress already has, to give a few thousand people one more chance with respect to the EIDL loan increase, stop the accrual of interest, and give us at least another 12 to 24 months before we have to make a payment, which is starting for many of us right effing now. Miss Guzman, I do not believe that you need congressional approval to do that. So please consider the folks that we represent. They desperately need your help. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't care about the stock market, you can leave right now. But if you do, as I was saying earlier, we've got stock charts that have been straight down. Right? Straight effing down for the last 6 to 12 months. Many of them are off 80, 85, DraftKings, 90%, Peloton. The list goes on. Some of these small biotech stocks are down 98 or 9% in many respects because of something called illegal naked short selling in the dark pools. 2/3, if not more, of all the volume, including in stocks like BBIG, which had great news today, is done by institutions in dark pools. You're supposed to have to borrow a stock first, get approval from your broker in order to short it. Those guys don't play by those same fucking rules. They just mow them down, and because they got more money than the average Joe or Jill, they're able to wreck just about anything they want until the tide turns. The Fed pivots. You enter a Q4 in a midterm year where it looks like gridlock is just around the corner as the GOP definitely takes the House and quite possibly the Senate. And the stock market, in case you haven't heard, loves gridlock. It renders Beer Nuts Biden a total lame duck. You're going to see hearings from Jim Jordan and others as they go after the big guy and his son. It's about effing time because we've had to listen to this Jan 6 sham for just about long enough. But all that theater means the Fed, which is now ending its rate hike cycle no later than December, is done. It's out of the way. The market's a forward-looking indicator. As of Thursday, when we officially bottomed and had a massive jump higher, today a minor pullback, the tide is turning. The ship is about to sail. The question is, are you fucking on board? Now, I've given you 7 names that you should have been buying all the way down, especially last week. I mean, I was telling you to buy Shopify at 24. Where is it now? 29 and change. DraftKings, I was telling you to buy at 12 and a half. It's pushing 14 because of this next Netflix news. But there's other stocks. Grab a pen. BBIG, let's start with that. Great news. They've got Lomo ads. The first step for them monetizing the social network that could be a competitor to TikTok is to get their ad engine revved up. Today was the first news in that regard. Yes, it's taken longer than expected. Yes, it's a gigantic pile of odorous excrement. I think even the current and new management knows that. It's now a prove me stock, but anything under $1 in BBIG is a buy. We own it at 92 cents. GOEV, it's an electric vehicle play. I say buy it at 140 or less, closed at 146. Do not chase. These are bonus tips. HLBZ, buy it at 35 cents and change. Where the hell is that right now? HLBC, huge breakout at 27 cents, shot to 50, currently trading after hours at 38, closed at 42. Do not chase. 35 or less in HLBZ, I can tone the purchase. Drug. Bright Minds is the name of the company. Oh my God. I said under 1.25, it's a buy. I started to buy a little bit because I don't have much cash at 122. No sooner I could finish typing it out, it was 111. So I changed it. I bought some more stock. And then I said, hey, my average I think is 117. It got down to a few minutes ago, 109. Massive aftermarket manipulation. It's now 115 by 116. DRUG, huge breakout at $1. Buy it at 115 or thereabouts and less. Do not chase. Folks, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place as to what to do. The screen that I use, and it's proprietary, is throwing off buy recommendations all over the place. And if you made it this far, I'm trying to launch a text service so I can text you in real time. Buy this, sell that. And I'll get rid of all the extra discourse and save that for Discord, Patreon, or Twitter. I'll just say, buy this, sell that. But because we've got shit popping all over the place, I can't stress this enough. I'm going to let you go. Stop. For the love of God, stop listening to these clowns that are telling you that major banks are about to go under. That's the biggest fucking lie in the entire world. These guys are doing this nonstop doom and gloom because they know it's what the algorithm / matrix wants. It wants negativity. It wants blue pill content. It wants to scare you out of house and home so they can get their slimy fucking hands on just about everything you own. And then suddenly, as has been the case for millennia, oh, it looks like the Fed is done. Oh, we've got a ceasefire in Ukraine. Oh, where's the mall? Hell, and the market's up 20% this week. We should have listened to Jason. Why didn't we buy Shopify at 24? Where's it now? Hell, at 41. What about that Peloton? Like I just saw a takeover from Amazon or Apple at 14. Where's it now? 7 and change. You get the point, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me on Twitter. Get one of 95 remaining premium memberships. And always remember that I love you and I thank you so very much for watching.